Welcome to this episode of One More Round. I'm really excited because we have Stephanie Pastachua. Now, we were joking about the fact her surname is actually, well, she's German. You're German, aren't you?
Yeah.
But her name derives from the lands of Poland.
Yes.
And do you know what? I was struggling when I tell the audience, how do you say your name?
My name is Stephanie Pastachua.
Pastachua.
Yes.
Very good. And Stephanie is a life strategist and also an international speaker.
Yes.
So have you spoken in England before?
No, not actually, not yet.
So this is your first time.
Yeah, great. I'm excited.
Yeah, now you get to speak to the whole world.
Yeah, amazing. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, awesome. Well, for those of you that don't know you, I always love to kind of set a little bit of context. I've had the privilege of getting to know you, and I've probably known more about you in the last hour over breakfast than I've probably got in the last 6 months of
last year.
Facebook, or whatever. For those that don't know who you are, I know that you're going through some transition and journeying. I think pretty much similar to me, of just introspection and that self-reflection. Am I being and am I doing and am I planted in the right areas for me to have the greatest impact, and is my life one that's serving others? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Stephanie. I'm from Germany, and I'm a life strategist. And I decided to help other people and share my story with the world, because that I realized that it is my gift that I need to share with the world. Because when I was 16, an accident happened to me and I got burn injuries, the half side of my body, and I didn't know how to manage the situation. Yeah, and as I grew up, I had really big confidence issues all the years, but I didn't realize that these issues were so big. So, and the last months or the last years, I had some kind of awakening, and I realized that I really need to get out with my story and to help other people with that, because I noticed that people with burn injuries are hiding themselves, and they do not want to put themselves out. And I had also some kind of awakening, like, I do not, how can I explain? I left everything behind me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the bad things, my past problems, I shifted my whole mindset. And that is what I want to bring out in the world. And I want to make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. If we were to be like a fly on a wall, and we were to see you, behind closed doors, like at home, what would we find? Like, often we share who we are based on what we do, but if you were, I don't know, on a shelf in a store and people were to read the label of, who is Stephanie, what would they be finding?
Yeah. Actually, when I'm the same person. It's not that I put a mask on if I'm on the outside. It's like, maybe I'm a little bit, how can I say, if it's the right word, if I'm shy a little bit when I go outside. It depends. Sometimes I'm a bit different. I don't know how to explain, actually, because I know some people, they're really putting masks on and they're completely different. If you know them maybe on Facebook or on YouTube, you don't realize how they are in the real life.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty the same.
Yeah.
It's like, just I want to keep some distance around me in my private life.
Yeah. I think trust is really important, especially when it comes to like business, because you have to have that trust in order for people to want to work with you. And I think it's important that we show who we really are. Otherwise, it raises a level of uncertainty. And if you can't be honest about who you are, then the danger is people can then think there's something not quite right.
Yeah.
And then it can have a negative experience.
Yeah. The thing is, I always wanted to hide myself as well, and wanted to I do not want to show the world who am I really, but then it becomes difficult because you cannot hide it all the time. You want to go out and show the world who you really are. And I have so many passions. I'm just funny and joyful. I love to entertain other people, and that is who I am. And I do not want to hide it.
Yeah. What is it within you that makes you wanna hide? Is it something that you're working through, or is there a time in your life which had this impact that has kept you back?
Yeah, it was like I felt myself trapped in a cage where other people tell me what I need to do. You have to do this kind of work, you need to do this, and or you cannot do this, you cannot be like that. And I realized that are my passions, and that is who am I really, and I want to be that person, and that
Yeah, so there's that sense of you're tired of other people telling you what you need to do and what you need to be.
Yes, exactly.
And finding freedom in the fact that you don't even have to think about those things. You can just own who you are.
I think the point is as well that always people are telling you what you need to do, and I think I had myself because I had the thought that maybe other people will be kind of jealous at me because I have so many talents. When it comes to dancing, modeling, I'm often on television, and then you feel like maybe they will jealous if you share so much things of yourself. But then at the end, I mean, it's not my problem. Understand when they are jealous.
Yeah. Like I was asking about, if I was a fly on the wall and find out a little bit of your world, you know, behind closed doors, what are some of the things that you like love to do, and you know, outside of, you know, work and mission and purpose?
I love everything. How can I say? I'm really open-minded, and I'm trying to do new things. But my passion is really modeling, dancing, being on television, and as I said, I'm really open-minded. I love to do some crazy stuff. Like, ever heard about zip lining?
Oh yes.
About the beach? Yeah, that was one thing that I tried recently,
Really?
and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's always a concern, the zip wiring, because I think, you know, for somebody who's a little bigger, I always think, man, is it going to hold my weight?
Yeah,
you know, just,
I know.
You would say yes, you would say no. I don't know what you're on about. No, it's just that sense of, you know, is it gonna hold me?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's more the experience of kind of letting go and not being in control, which is the thing that kind of gives you?
Yes, letting go and going out of your comfort zone, and overcoming your fears.
Yeah.
Where there is no fear, it's all in your mind, you know.
Yeah, because people often say, you know, Mark, I don't know what to do with my life, and at that point, it's really an encouragement to say, if you don't know what it is you're supposed to be doing, that you've got to keep trying new things in order to find out what
exactly.
it is.
Just do it. Trying some things, but most people don't even start. They are overthinking, and they just want to find that one thing. But I can tell you, I tried so many things when it comes to my passion, to my life purpose. It's like doing some kind of networking or network marketing in this case, or what else? Being in an office job for all the years, and it doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm. I also think the flip side, though, is once you've experimented and you've tried lots of different things, once you find actually the thing that really does resonate and excite, that is when you need to really hone in and be a little more protective and nurture that, because if you're constantly just experimenting all the time, which is perfectly fine if you don't know what you're to do, but once you reach a point of when something does resonate, that's really when the experimenting doesn't need to stop. But I always believe that you have to find your lane and then stay in it. and the problem is too many people want to be the answer to everybody's problems,
Yeah.
but rather than to the problem that they're called, to be. I think it's really important just to say that.
Yeah.
We live in a world that is often about how something looks. And I know from what I've seen in the press that for women in particular, the emphasis in terms of how a woman looks is something that many women struggle with. But the reality is beauty without intelligence is ugly. So while it's important that we all take ownership and take pride in how we look and in how we dress and how we come across to the world, without actually having intelligence, being ignorant and not having the knowledge, fundamentally is ugly. It's your ability to be able to interact and connect with somebody's mind that really has the biggest impact on the relationships and the business associations we have in this world. Now, if you haven't watched any of the episodes that we've aired, which come out every Saturday morning, One More Round is really a great opportunity for people like Stephanie to share their hearts, share their story, because at the end of the day, we are human beings, and while we have a passion for business and entrepreneurship, we also want to be able to relate, to human beings, and the whole essence of One More Round is to be able to do that, is to bring those personal stories and the strategy within business to really help launch us forward. Now, Stephanie, when I was thinking about the name One More Round and trying to encapsulate something that it said, because I always think a great book title or a great business name or a great TV show, the title even needs to say what it is that it does, or is a title that gives you some curiosity as to you wanting to find out more. But for you, when you hear One More Round, what is it that you think of?
Yeah, for me, it directly came to my mind. If you have some tough challenges or obstacles in life and they bring you down, it's all about getting up again.
Yeah.
One more round.
Yeah.
How do you manage the situation? And maybe you heard this quote, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Yes.
And yeah, it's all about what did you learn from it, and how do you manage it, and important is that you get out of the situation and that you take the best out of it. Yeah.
Now, you kind of already touched on, it might not be the story that you share, but if you were to give an example of where life had knocked you down and came back, what would that look like?
It's like I think I'm the best example for this one. I think I had not 1 more round, but 10 more rounds.
10 more rounds, yeah.
I had the situation where whether I quit the job for myself or what was it called? I was being fired. Yeah. Okay. It's one way or the other.
Jump or be pushed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what are you doing if you're getting fired? What are you doing? Are you being sad? Are you being depressed? And you think, oh, what should I do now? I have no job. I have no money. What's going on in life now? Or when it comes to relationships, when I finish my relationship, or even it doesn't work out anymore, you're sad and you want to go back to that relationship, but it's always, I had in my mind, I shifted my mindset and I thought, okay, one door closes and another opens. And it was always like that. And when the other one closes, a better door opens or opened in the past. So it's, yeah, you have to be very optimistic in life and stay positive and have faith that everything will work out.
So do you feel like you're quite pragmatic when challenges happen now? Is it as straightforward as saying, all right, this hurts, that door's shut, but are you set up to believe there is another door that's going to open? So yeah, typically...
Always. I think I wasn't... I didn't have that mindset all the years. I think it just shifted about the years when I made these experiences, and yeah, I think in general I'm just optimistic. I was always optimistic, but not that strong. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's but now I developed this belief that everything will work out and it's positive in life, and yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because we all hear, be careful what you wish for, and people say, I want to be stronger, and then God sends you, challenges, and it's that sense of, in the physical, when you're in the gym and you're wanting to strengthen your arm muscle, your muscles actually being broken down, so there's a sense of challenge and weakness and breaking. It certainly felt like a season of breaking in my own life, like recently, just needing to bring things back to the core and the root. But it's in order, to have strength.
Yeah.
Not only to be able to carry yourself through life's challenges, but carry, other people.
What I want to add here is now, people can only grow through challenges and obstacles in life. As we talked about recently, life isn't black and white, and it's there are always ups and downs, and every person has his own challenges, but you will grow through that, and it's all about what you learn through this.
So with challenges in your own, do you feel, because you've been through so many challenges, whether it's been through the incident that you had when you were 16, having difficulty with your employment, do you feel that because you've had a continuous amount of challenges, it's actually put you in a place where actually it's almost like bring it on? You know what I'm saying? So rather than it burying you now, actually you get excited by a challenge.
Yeah, at some point I get excited because I know there's always a way, I will work it out. But on the other hand, I say, okay, there are enough challenges or obstacles now, and I want to have a happy life now, because of course there are some challenges in life you need to have, but at some point you think, okay, it's enough, I'm done with that, and please give me some positive experiences in life.
Yeah, I get that, because we're human, and life is, I've always said, it's a mosaic of the beautiful and the brutal, and everything in between. I always find that interesting though. This is something that always does me good when I'm faced with a challenge. If I was just to use you as an example, I'd be saying, I'm the same woman who was seriously burnt when I was 16. I'm the same woman who, was going to be sacked from my job, or I quit. And it's like, when you're faced with the next challenge, it's almost like you're bringing what you've already gone through in order to be able to move, beyond the next challenge. There's always that, because it's always harder when you're in it. When you're in the challenge,
yes, right,
we lose focus,
really,
and we get overwhelmed, and that's when we want to run. We want to run into our shell, and just hide, rather than moving forward. So
what I want to add is, it's easy to say, think positive and be optimistic, because if you're in it, sometimes you cannot be positive because it's too overwhelming, and all it's negative, and you just don't know how to think positive in this situation, and no one is there to talk about, and there's no, it seems things are getting just worse than better.
I'm always encouraged by the fact sometimes the only way out is through. So sometimes you have to go through something in order to come out the other end. And I guess it is the same, in life. There's certain things that we want to avoid and don't want to deal with. But actually we have to go through it.
We have to face these challenges.
We do. We have to be real. So I think if you're going through a challenge, you said you don't always have to be thankful for what you're going through or super positive all the time, but it's about being real. But the one thing that I always believe is really helpful is regardless of success or failure, challenge or difficulty, health or sickness, we never stay in the challenge. So if you think of everything you've been through, Stephanie, same for me, are you still there now? Like, are you still dealing with the same pain you went through when you were 16? You know,
Yeah, no.
things shift, don't they?
Yes.
It's a great reminder.
Not everything. It's in the past I left behind, and it's just the experience that I had and that I grew up with. And I think I'm grateful for this because it shaped me to that person I am today.
Okay, so Stephanie, we found out a little bit about who you are.
Yeah.
We found out a little bit about some of your challenges.
Yeah.
And you've been through a lot, both physically and, you know, emotionally. And then it takes us to like now. And it's always fascinating what happens in life when things organically come before us. But you've been working a lot with people that have got difficulty relationally.
Yeah.
Can you put your finger as to why all of a sudden people are coming to you, you know, with these problems, specifically men as well, that are wanting to find, you know, their love?
Yeah. So what I experienced in my own life, it's your self-image and your confidence, and I needed to work on myself on that topics. And I also have so many friends and business partners that are coming to me and asking me for relationship advice, and also they're about, in general, their self-image. What I realized is if you cannot love yourself, you won't be happy with yourself and never be happy in your relationship, because you cannot seek the approval and acceptance on the outside or in your partner. You have to work on yourself first, and then you will attract the same, because if you cannot love yourself, who should love you then?
In terms of your own self-love, there would have been a period, especially when you'd had significant burns, you know, on your body, that would have affected everybody. You know, in terms of how they look, whether people are going to take fun, are they going to look at me different? How did you transition, you know, through that? Like, how difficult was that?
Yeah, actually it took me really many years, I think 15 years in general. And yeah, I think if you have someone at your side, like a coach or a mentor, the coach can help you really to get the results faster. But I didn't have a coach to that time. I was young, I was 16, I had no one that I can look up to, and I needed to go through this experience alone and had to work it out on my own, and it was really quite difficult. I didn't know how to manage it. I read some books and went to some seminars, but it didn't work out so well. So and that just took me until today, to that point where I'm really confident and I forget everything and I'm happy with my body.
Yeah. Now you said that you can't love someone else. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I think it's the first time I've sneezed on one more round. Always a first for everything. I think you said that you can't love someone else unless you love yourself. So what is it that you did in order to take you were 21, right, when you were burnt? Is that right?
No, 16.
No, sorry, 16. And what did you do, or what have you done in order to increase your own love for yourself? Because it's from that we're then able to build meaningful relationships. It's when we kind of see a person as the solution to our own pain that things go drastically wrong.
So what gave me some good...
That self-love, like how did you take your 16-year-old self that was vulnerable, and turn you into a woman that is confident, and now educating other people on how to be confident?
So as I said, with 16 you have no clue how to work on that topic, because it was just overwhelming for me. But what I found is I had really a passion for dancing, and I attended dancing classes and gives me really good energy, and I was able to forget my scars for a while. So and also a big passion became of me modeling. It was also some part where I don't know, forgot my scars and was just a complete different person. So looking for activities that giving you good energy and push your confidence.
Do you feel like if you had the choice, if you could choose whether to go through what you did when you were 16 again or not, what would you choose?
Sorry, again, please, the question.
If you were to choose
Yeah.
to experience the accident when you were 16
Yeah.
or not, what would you choose?
Wow, that is a really good question. I think I would experience this again because it shaped me to that person that I am today.
Yeah, so I find that really fascinating. Isn't that fascinating?
It is.
Because when I think of my own journey and what I had to go through, yes, it hurt, and we already talked about at the start, you know, that it wouldn't be a challenge unless it was difficult. But how interesting that even though that was painful, and you went through scars and difficulty, that actually you would accept that challenge again because it's helped get you to where you
Yes,
are.
I think it really, I would accept this challenge again, and it was incredible pain, but it really shaped me into that person. I learned so much, my experience through life, and the best challenge that I had in life.
Yeah, I think that's a really poignant message for people to really grasp. That yes, it's painful, yes, it hurts, but actually you're thankful.
Yes.
Because of what you've learned, which I think's really inspiring, and somebody needs to hear it.
Yeah. I have a complete different view from life now, and I wanted to be, that's the funny thing, I wanted to be like perfect or have like a perfect body, but I appreciate my body today as it is, and I'm grateful for it.
I'm grateful for my perfect body.
Exciting.
Yeah. So, do you believe then that the people that are drawn to you is because of the fact that you've been real with your own struggle?
Yeah.
But now you've reached a place where you've come out of that, and that's helped shape you in a positive way. Do you feel that's what's happening?
Yes, I think so, because I think I really am a good example through all the with all the challenges and obstacles I had, whether it's quitting my job, finishing a relationship, having these burn injuries. I overcome all these challenges and obstacles, and I went through it and have a positive view on life, and I always look forward.
Awesome. And how do people find out more about you, Stephanie? How do they get a hold of you, continue that conversation?
Yeah, you can visit my website, stephaniepastachua.com, or just visit me on Instagram.
Thanks for being on one more round. I think one of the most fascinating things about the interview with Stephanie was challenges happen all the time, and we all go through them. And you're probably going through one right now because life just always seems to throw us a challenge, especially if we want to grow. But the one thing which I found really, really interesting is when I asked Stephanie the question, would she go through having those serious burns to her body again? She said she would, because it's what has made her who she is today. So if you're going through a challenge right now, be encouraged, because actually you may well reach a point like Stephanie that even though it hurts right now, it will shape and it will add something of value to you and also to your future.